Vasudeva. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udiraye. Before reciting Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Śrīla Vyasadeva, the author of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati nashtaki. By regular attendance in the classes on Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Kṛṣṇaye Kṛṣṇa Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Namaha Pankajanabhaya Namaha Pankajamalini Namaha Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangriye Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Paramananda pathaya nityaya paramatmane Paramananda pathaya premavarshya aksharayate sarvada sarvasevyaya Shri Kṛṣṇaya namastute. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, dear Vaishnavas, for joining. We are reading Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 8, and this is entitled The Churning of the Milk Ocean. So, it's a very beautiful chapter, very nice personalities are coming from the ocean, the churning of the milk ocean, and the latest we read from text 9 to 29 or 8 to 29 is about Mother Lakshmi or Mata Rama, Sindhu Kanya, the ocean, the daughter of the ocean. So let's move forward and read text 30 onwards and see what Prabhupada in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is trying to teach us today. Okay, so text 30 onwards. Athasid Varuni Devi Kanya Kamalalochana Asura Jagrahustam Vai Harir Anumattenate. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace. Isi Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Next appeared Varuni, the lotus-eyed goddess who controls drunkards. With the permission of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kṛṣṇa, the demons headed by Bali Maharaj took possession of this young girl. So, Varuni, quite straightforward. The personification of Varuni is the young girl. The lotus-eyed word is used here. Kamala Lochana. This is often used for the Supreme Personality of God. Lochan means eyes. Kamal means lotus. So it was demigods. So the demigod last took, if you remember, the Apsaras were taken by the heavenly citizens. The Parijata flower was also taken by the demigods. So it was, in short, the demon's turn. So they took the Varuni, and what are her qualities? She controls the drunkards. This is a little different from the intoxication of material world, this is part of the material world, but in the earthly planets, people in the influence of alcohol and so many alcoholic beverages are there in this day and age. So basically it's against the regulative principles to to drink such substances which kind of make us unconscious, or which make us into the lower modes, which pollute us, which cover us. So often people, drink alcohol, etc., to forget something, or to if they're in depression or some stress, so it makes us forget about that situation. But is that the real solution? Probably not, because it's like to forget that there's a tiger will not, destroy the problem from the root cause. After one comes back to consciousness in couple of hours or whatever time it takes, then the same dukkha will torment. So to treat the problem for root cause is not to get intoxicated, but to uplift ourselves by the medium of chanting, reading, hearing, etc. That's the real solution. So that's about Varuni here. Any other comments, additions, questions? We'll move on to next verse, text 31. Amsilas Prabhu, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Thank you very much. Thank you. Dandat Pranam, everyone. Text 31. Ato dadair matyamanat kasyaper amratar tibhi udatistan maharaja purusha parama buddha. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O King, thereafter, while the sons of Kashyapa, both demons and demigods, were engaged in churning the ocean of milk, a very wonderful male person appeared. So this verse is telling whoever is churning the milk ocean in the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as Ajita and Kurma and Sahasrabahu, the persons, both Devas and Asuras, are actually sons of the Rishi Kashyapa. Kashyapa Prajapati also is called. So the sons of Aditi are the demigods, and they are also called Adityas. And then Diti's sons are the Daityas, or the Asuras or demons. So so this verse is just telling us about that reference of sons of Kashyapa, and next we're going to see who's this male person who appeared. Thank you, Prabhuji. Please, if you'd like to add or correct.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Mention all the points here. We can move forward. Nandini Mataji, you want to read?
Sure, Prabhu, Dandat Pranam. All praise to Srila Prabhupada. Devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. Text 32. Dirgha pivara dordandaha kambu grivo rukshe nakshanaha shamalasta runaha stvagvi sarvabharana bhushitaha. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. He was strongly built. His arms were long, stout, and strong. His neck, which was marked with 3 lines, resembled a conch shell. His eyes were reddish, and his complexion was blackish. He was very young. He was garlanded with flowers, and his entire body was fully decorated with various ornaments. So we are seeing such a beautiful description. Krishna's his eyes are reddish and complexion was blackish. So back to you, Prabhu. I would rather have you add. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. So in the last verse onwards, there is Actually, it will come in the text 34, but since we're reading about this personality, it is the Dhanvantari incarnation of the Supreme Lord. And his beautiful form is described here. How his arms were, how his neck was, and the three lines. So this comes in the description of Kṛṣṇa also in the Trirekha. What's that shloka that Satyavrata Muni speaks? Trirekha ka kantha. The conch, has like curved and three lines are there. Similarly, Krishna's neck. And even if you like turn, and then you will feel the three lines in the neck. So the three lines in the neck resemble a conch shell. Satyavrata Muni also mentions that in describing Krishna's beauty also. Trirekha ka kantha. And yes, very, very young, garlanded with flowers. So different aspects of Krishna's beauty or Lord Dhanvantari's beauty are described in these verses. Okay, we can read the next verse. Kashish Mataji, you want to read? Has everyone got chance once? Because today is kind of last day of the year. Anyone has not got chance? Yes, Mataji, please.
कीर्तिवासा महोरस्कः सुम्रष्टमणिकुण्डलः स्निग्धकुञ्चितकेशान्तः सुभगः सिंहविक्रमः अमृतापूर्णकलशं बिभ्रतवलयभूषितः. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. He was dressed in yellow garments and wore brightly polished earrings made of pearls. The tips of his hair were anointed with oil, and his chest was very broad. His body had all good features. He was stout and strong, like a lion, and he was decorated with bangles. In his hand he carried a jug filled to the top with nectar. Hare Krishna. Back to you, Prabhuji.
So I want to share this picture of this wonderful personality as per Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So you all can see this photo of Lord Dhanvantari here. Okay, do you see the picture? So all that description, and this is in the Bhagavatam for those who are reading the hardbound. This is from the Bhagavatam itself. So beautiful picture, and all the descriptions, the bluish, dark blue complexion, the broad shoulders, the kundala, the neck. So this is a great way of meditation upon the Lord's beautiful form, carrying the jug of nectar, the nectar which everyone was waiting for, and his conch shell-like neck with the three marks, curly locks of hairs, and garlanded and ornamented yellow dress, Pitavasa. One of the names of Lord Chaitanya is Pitavasa also. Krishna also Pitavasa, Pitambara. Pitavasa, one who is yellow, wearing yellow garments. Vasa means dress or garments. So this is Lord Dhanvantari. In, I think, Deepavali's one day before or 2 days before, there is a day called Dhanteras. That's actually the day where Lord Dhanvantari appears. So, the beautiful form of Lord Dhanvantari. Any other comments or questions? additions anyone has. You may have seen some other photos also of Lord Dhanvantari in now. Let's continue to read.
Prabhuji, I can read.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna devotees, downward pranam, all blessed to Srila Prabhupada. Text 34. Shabhai Bhagavat Sakshat Vishnur Amshamsha Shambhava Dhanantar iti Kayato Ayurveda Drik Ijo Bhak. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada with joy. Translation: this person was Dhanantari, a plenary portion of Lord Vishnu. He was very conversant with the science of medicine, and as one of the demigods, he was permitted to take a share in sacrifices. Purport: Sri Madhuracharya remarks, Tesham Satyach Chalonartham Hori Dhanantari Vibhu Smarto Opi Osuranam Tu Shaha Hastad Amuchat Shudham. Dhanantari, who was carrying the jar containing nectar, was a plenary incarnation of the Supreme Personal Godhead. But although he was very strong, the Osuras were able to take the jug of nectar from his hand. So I don't know, it is a saying all over the India, but in Bengal, actually the good doctors are called as Dhanantari because people get relieved from the disease, and that doctors was always called as Dhanantari. So you see that it is analogy because Dhanantari bringing Lord Dhanantari bringing the nectars that give the immortality to the denizens, and he is nothing other than a plenary portion of the Supreme Personal Godhead. Back to you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. So basically, the concept is that in any good doctor, any Vaidya, any Ayurveda practitioner understands that the real doer is Kṛṣṇa. This medicine will only act when if Kṛṣṇa wants it to happen so. So any genuine, practitioner, whether one is a doctor or an engineer, everyone should be dependent on the Lord and feel that I am just an instrument. But since you're talking about Dhanvantari, even in our Govardhan Eco Village, there is a big deity of Lord Dhanvantari, the bluish blackish complexion. So to your point, Vipul Prabhu, I mean many yoga institutes or pharmacists, etc., doctors may keep a photo or a deity or in some way, understanding that my power is not the real power. The real power is Lord Dhanvantari or Lord Kṛṣṇa's power. But if he wants me to be a tiny instrument in this process to help someone, because he is the real one who knows the medicine, who knows the science of medicine. I'm just, my knowledge is infinitesimal, his knowledge is infinite. If he wants, then everything will happen. So that's Lord Dhanvantari, the Ayurveda, kind of the original doctor, or one who knows this whole science. And because he's the Supreme Lord, the incarnation of the Supreme Lord, he came up with this jug of nectar. Any other comments, questions, additions?
One question. So it says here plenary portion of a plenary portion, the translation. So like it's twice removed from the translation, it says on the top.
Yeah. Amsha Amsha Sambhava. So basically, the example is given like the original lamp is there,
Yeah.
and then one lamp is lit, and then the other lamp is lit from that lamp. So that's like the Amsha Amsha. So first the Supreme Lord Krishna, and then Balaram, etc., etc. So the portions of the plenary portions, the plenary portion of the plenary portion. So it's like when Krishna comes, he comes himself. But when generally with the incarnations, they are amshas. They are the portions or the amsha, the portions of the plenary portions. That's
Prabhuji,
my
it's like
yes.
expansion, different expansion of Lord Krishna. This
Correct. Expansions, incarnations, avatars. Correct. All this.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Okay. Ete chamsa kalapum sam Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So let's read 35. Yes, Babu, Kani and Prabhu, you want to read 35?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Tama alokya shura sarve kalasham chamrata vratam lipsanta sarva vastuni kalasham tarasaharam. Translation: upon seeing Dhanvantri carrying the jug of nectar, the demons, desiring the jug and its contents, immediately snatched it away by force. So the demons now immediately snatch that jug which contain nectar from Dhanvantri Bhagavan. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So if we go back a little, we see that yes, the demons agreed upon the demigod's proposal, who were sent by the Supreme Lord, that go and ask for a truce, we discussed in the last chapter, and churn the nectar, churn the ocean together to get the nectar. And both the parties agreed, but the hidden agenda was to get the nectar. Now, the hidden agenda has come out. The real partnership was not, to really cooperate together. The real partnership was as long as we get the nectar. So when the real nectar has arrived, demons kind of, showed their true what is in their heart, and that is they snatched the nectar from Lord Dhanvantri and by force. So because they were very eager for this nectar. So their agenda has come out. Let's see what happens. Did they drink it? Did they distribute it? Let's see. Who would like to read text 36? And actually, before we read 36, I want to show you some more pictures. I hope everyone likes pictures. So these are, let me share these pictures with you. And these are also from the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. We missed to see this. For those who are reading in the hardbound, it's in your books. So this is in the, can anyone guess what's going on here?
They were not able to lift, and Lord Krishna comes and helps Prabhu.
What they were not
The
able to
demons and
lift?
the demigods were not able to lift the Mandara mountain.
Mandara mountain, yes. The golden Mandara mountain. And looks like there were like cities on that mountain. This golden peak of mountain, and the Lord easily carried it with just one hand on top of Garuda. And not only that, he carried the demons, and the arms were broken, some leg were broken, and then Lord gave everyone energy. So that's a beautiful picture. Good way to meditate on these wonderful pastimes. The next is when the poison came. So here we see Lord Ajita. It's very beautiful. I mean, if we go in detail and observe, I mean, to be honest, every time I saw this, I just saw Lord Shiva poison. I didn't observe, oh, that's like the golden mountain and the Lord sitting in his 1,000-handed form. And these Vasuki, emitting fire and flames, and this big Vasuki, big mountain, the ocean of milk, and all this poison he condensed into his palms and drank. Not sure drank this. It's very, very detailed. You must just in one picture, if we observe closely, there is so much to absorb and just meditate upon these pastimes.
And Prabhuji, a Surabhi cow is also there. Came after that, immediately after, right?
Yes. Probably it's the Surabhi cow or the Nandi bull. I don't know. Yeah, but could be. Yeah, it could be Surabhi cow. Could be Nandi the bull. The
way the horns are, it may be bull. I not seen Surabhi cow shown so with such big horns.
Nice way of meditation. Thank you, Mataji. Prabhu. Rakesh Prabhu, you were saying something?
I'm saying the poison is dropping to the ground, so all snakes and other things. Poison.
Oh yes, that's a good meditation. See, very good point. All the scorpions and everyone, they got poisoned by this drops. So in one picture, you can practically discuss the whole chapter or half of the chapter. So very nice. You should be so grateful to Srila Prabhupada and all his disciples who were instrumental in making these, Prabhupada said, windows to spiritual world. Yeah, the windows to spiritual world. Okay, let's read the next verse, 36 here. Someone who's not read would like to read?
I can read, Prabhu. Hare Krishna devotees, text 36. Niyamane surais tasmin kalashe mruta bhajane vishanna manaso deva harim sharanam ayahu. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, His Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. When the jug of nectar was carried off by the demons, the demigods were morose. Thus they sought shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari. It's pretty much straightforward, Prabhu. Thank you. Back to you.
Again and again, this point is coming that the demons like to do things on their own whims and fantasies. They didn't check with Lord. Hey, this nectar is coming. We just took the Varuni. Now it's actually demigod's turn. Correct? Because they were doing, when we are deciding a team, there's a team captain. So one person selects one team member and another person selects, right? That's like the standard protocol. They just had their Varuni. Now it's time for actually, demigods to elect or select. But demons work on their own whims and fantasies. They don't like to work under subordination. They don't like to work under guidance of the Supreme Lord and his devotees. But here we see very nice lesson. What did the demigods do? Yes, the demigods were morose because they also wanted nectar. It's okay to ask something. It's okay to, they are representing actually the jivas, because the jivas also, have kind of similar traits like demigods, or most sadhakas, I would say, because Radhesham Prabhu mentioned this. Most sadhakas are not pure devotees who have no material desires, but they are not totally demoniac as either, because they want to take shelter of the Supreme Lord. So that's what the demigods are doing here. They are morose. They also wanted some share of nectar. So, but what they did is very important. They didn't immediately go and say attack the demons. Correct? They could have done so, but they went to Lord. Harim Sharana Ayuyuhu. Hari ki sharan mein aaye. Very nice. That's the best thing, to take shelter of the Supreme Lord. That's a very good idea. Of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Vishana Manaso Deva Harim Sharanam Ayuhu. The first chapter of Bhagavad Gita is also Arjuna Vishada Yoga. They were depressed. Arjuna was depressed, aggrieved, troubled. What to do? I don't know. What did he do? Took shelter of Lord Hari. Karpanya dosho pahat svabhava prichhami tvam dharma sammula cheta yat shreyasyam nishchitam brohi tanme shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapanna. I accept you as my master, I am your shishya. Same, pretty much same principle. There also Vishada Yoga. Here the word Vishana Manasa. Their mind was aggrieved. They were troubled because things were not going as per their desires or their plans. Why? Because the demons had taken the nectar pot. Therefore, they were morose. So very, very nice lesson that when we feel morose, when we feel depressed, rejected, rather than doing something whimsically, we should take shelter of Guru Sadhu Shastra. We should try to hear some Krishna Katha. We should try to approach to devotees. We should try to approach to Krishna, express why I am feeling depressed, why I am, and we will feel great relief. We'll feel great relief. That's the real, I'm sure we all may have experienced that at some points in our lives. When we take shelter of Krishna, all the sorrows go away. When we take shelter of devotees, all the sorrows go away. When we take shelter of Bhagavatam, Harinam, anything connected to Krishna, all sorrows go away. Any other comments, additions, questions? Anyone has? Okay, let's read 37. Would someone like to read? Nayan Prabhu, Tisha Mataji, we have not heard from you. I'm glad either one of you is present online. Are you in a position to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, yes, I can read.
Please.
Iti taddainam alokya Bhagavan vritta kamakrita Nakhidayata mitha arthamba Shaddaisha shamayaya. Translation by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. When Supreme Personality of Godhead, who always desires to fulfill the ambitions of his devotees, saw that the demigods are morose, he said to them, "Do not be aggrieved. By my own energy, I shall bewilder the demons by creating quarrel among them. In this way, I shall fulfill your desire to have the nectar." Thank you, Prabhuji. Back to you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Happy to hear from you for a couple of days. So, the Lord told them, don't be aggrieved. Ma shucha. Right? Ma khidyata. Do not be aggrieved. Same as ma shucha. If someone takes shelter of Kṛṣṇa, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam shranam. Aham tam sarv papebhyo mokshayami ma shucha. If someone has taken shelter of Kṛṣṇa, that person does not need to worry. Because for that person, Kṛṣṇa worries. You know, the famous story that this Duryodhana kind of diplomatically said to Bhishma Pitama, what are you doing? You're not fighting to your full power. You're like a whale in front of these tiny fishes. You can devour them like anything in one go. But you are showing favoritism towards your grandsons, etc. You're not really fighting in your true spirits. So, very diplomatically. And then Bhishma Pitama said, okay, enough is enough. 5 arrows tomorrow, 5 Pandavas, the end. And all this was happening in Duryodhana's camp. And Kṛṣṇa told Arjuna, hey, get up. Jiva Jago, what do you know? What's going on in Duryodhana's camp? Bhishma Pitama has taken a vow. And he is given. So Duryodhana, before that, Duryodhana said, well, anything can happen tomorrow and between this evening and tomorrow. Let me take these arrows. My dear grandfather, let me take arrows. I'll give it to you tomorrow morning and then you can, get rid of Pandavas. He thought he is smart. Demons think that they are smarter than Kṛṣṇa. But they don't know that Kṛṣṇa is Sarvagya, Sarvavyapi. He's omniscient, omnipresent. He knows everything. He is in and out. Ito Narsingai. Hriday Narsinga, Bahir Narsingai. So we cannot hide anything from Kṛṣṇa. Nothing is unknown. He is the supreme knower. He is like the king who knows about all the fields. Arjuna did know what's going on in this Duryodhana's camp, but Kṛṣṇa certainly knows what's going on there. So he said, Arjuna, my dear child, my dear devotee, my dear friend, get up. This is what's going on. Tomorrow, this is going to happen. So, and you are sleeping peacefully? Said, my lord, you only tell what to do. So the point is that if one takes shelter of Kṛṣṇa, then Kṛṣṇa takes transcendental anxiety about that person. That's and so many examples are there in our Goswamis, and when they're chanting, Srimati Radharani personally comes to with her veil. And I think Raghunath Das Goswami or one of the Goswamis was chanting. It was very hot. Or Rupa Goswami, I'm forgetting the name of the Shad Goswami. Radharani was personally covering and giving shade to. Can we imagine that? In another instance, there was a tiger. Again, the great Shad Goswami was chanting and completely absorbed in an open place. And then Kṛṣṇa personally came with a stick to guard because there was a tiger nearby. So Raghunath Das Goswami was chanting. So later Sanatana Goswami told him that you're not supposed to take service from the Lord. Why don't you build a small kutia, bhajan kutir? So the point here is that Kṛṣṇa is there to protect those who take full shelter of him in every aspect. Pratigya tava govinda name bhakta pranashyati iti samsmritya pranam sandharyami aham. Very beautiful verse. Pratigya tava govinda. Oh Govinda, this is your pratigya. What is your pratigya? You say, oh Arjuna, boldly declare, Name Bhakta Pranashyati. My devotee will never perish. This is your pratigya. Pratigya tava Govind. Iti samsmritya samsmritya. Remembering this again and again. Mata Draupadi is speaking this verse in the Mahabharata. Iti samsmritya samsmritya. Remembering this again and again, again and again. I am holding my life. I am holding pranam sandharyami aham. That if I have taken full shelter of you, nothing can happen. Nothing can happen. Jack, Mare Kṛṣṇa Rakhe Ke Rakhe Kṛṣṇa Mare Ke. In the Guru Granth Sahib, they'll say that Jako Rakhe Sai Ya Mar Sakhe Na Ko. That means if Krishna is protecting, same principle, no one can. If one has taken shelter of Krishna, who can protect him or who can destroy him? Prahlad Maharaj, Mata Draupadi, Parikshit Maharaj. So many examples. What they had done, taken shelter of Krishna. If one takes shelter of Krishna, one will not be morose, one will not be aggrieved. By my own energy I shall bewilder the demons, and I will fulfill your desire. So in short, Krishna will help. And his real help is the help in spiritual life. Of course, body will, after some point, will anyways perish. Any other comments, any questions, additions anyone has? Okay, so the Lord assured here to the demigods that he will support them. Let's read one more verse and then we will pause. Would someone like to read, please? Text 38. Arundhati Mataji, thank you for joining. Would you like to read?
Sure. Mitaha kalir avahat tasham tad arte tarsa shetam shesham aham prabham natam iti prabha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And translation. O king, a quarrel then arose among the demons over who get the nectar first. Each of them said, "You cannot drink it first. I must drink it first. Me first, not you." Purport. This is the symptom of demons. The first concern of non-devotee is how to enjoy his personal sense gratification at once, whereas the devotee's first concern is to satisfy the Lord. This is the distinction between the non-devotee and devotee. In this material world, since most people are non-devotees, they regularly compete, fight, disagree, and war among themselves, for everyone wants to enjoy and satisfy his own senses. Therefore, unless such demons become Krishna conscious and are trained to satisfy the senses of the Lord, there can be no question peace in human society or any society, even that of the demigods. The demigods and devotee, however, always surrender to the lotus feet of the Lord, and thus the Lord is always anxious to satisfy their ambition, while the demons fight to satisfy their own senses. Devotee engage in devotional service to satisfy the senses of Lord. The members of Krishna consciousness movement must be alert in regard to this point, and then their preaching of Krishna consciousness movement will be successful. So here we are, if we don't follow the Krishna consciousness, we should not be selfish, just thinking of ourselves. We should do things, every time we must do things with the naming of Lord Krishna, not that me, my, and one. whatever you do with the Lord Krishna, then it will be all right, and he will be protect you. Because most of us, some of the devotees are just like, give it to me, give me, give me, give me. But you must go to Lord Krishna. Whatever you do, just don't ask anything. Just do selfishly. Don't ask. He will give it to you. He knows what you want. So don't just ask him, give me that. You just do things for him with your pure hearted, and he will give you back. That's what I get. We should not fight among us that give it to me. I should have this first. There's no, Krishna will give it to you. Just wait in the line. Sometimes we see, like in Prasada Sadhan, somebody runs with the plate first. Wait in the line. Lord Krishna gonna give it to you. Have patience. Have faith on him.
Very well. Very nice. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
You are teaching by your example. I just speak people things, but you are truly teaching by your example. So demons have the I culture. I first. I should get nectar first. How dare you get? If you get, probably you'll not give it to me. You'll drink the whole thing. You'll not say prasadam for me. So let me take it first. But devotees is others first, you first. So putting others first and oneself second is devotees or demigods. Putting oneself first and others second is demoniac. That's what Krishna is teaching here. If we put ourselves first, then we are away from Krishna. When we run alone, it is race. But when we say Krishna, when we run with Krishna, it is grace. Then the mercy will be there, because we are putting ourselves second and Krishna and his devotees first. Then the Lord will see, oh, my dear child is making so much sacrifice for me and my devotees. Then I will make sacrifice to make sure he gets all the needful things. The Lord is anxious to satisfy their ambitions, as it is from the purport. Whom? To the devotees and demigods who take shelter of the Supreme Lord. So in short, that one who takes shelter of Lord will not lose anything, rather will gain everything. So we must not be aggrieved or morose. Prabhupada is especially alerting all the members of Krishna consciousness movement, referring to all of us, because we are all in some way members of Krishna consciousness movement. That means that we should be alert, that we give others more respect. Not hungry for, oh, why did my name he call at the last? Or I gave donation, they didn't even call my name. Oh, I am a better person, I should be the leader. Oh, I am a better singer, I didn't get chance to sing in the kirtan. Oh, I'm a better this, I didn't get chance here. So putting I first. Rather, a devotee is happy in seeing, oh wow, in seeing others' progress, in seeing others, wow, he's getting chance, wonderful, he's doing more service, wonderful. I must follow in their footsteps. I must take more inspiration from them. I must try to do more bhakti, more sincerity, more. Rather than, oh, I didn't get chance, next time I'll not even go to the temple. They don't. The temple management does not understand my value, my real value. I am such a great kirtani, I am such a great cook, I am such a great deity worshipper, I am such a great whatever. This I can choke our bhakti also if we don't handle it properly. Aham mameti. This is demoniac. Demoniac persons are completely absorbed in I, me, and mine. Even in spiritual life, we should not have this I, me, and mine. Oh, I'm doing my sadhana. I'm doing my chanting, reading, hearing. That's all for nothing. So, if one is not compassionate, that means one should try to outreach also. That's our whole movement. Any other comments, additions, any questions? Okay, so today is the last day of the year, and I think tomorrow everyone has holiday. Tomorrow is the first day of the new year, as per the English calendar. Actually, as per Gaudiya Vaishnavism, the new year falls on Gaur Purnima. But nonetheless, we flow with the flow, act in the Rome as Romans do. So wish you all a very happy Krishna conscious New Year. And we will start the new year at 9:30 a.m. EST tomorrow with a wonderful class by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Okay, so please join the Zoom. All the details will be posted. So tomorrow, instead of meeting in the evening, we will meet in the morning at 9:30 a.m. EST, which is 7 p.m. Indian time. So please join. That's the best way to start. And of course, those who are joining Japa call, that remains as it is from 5 to 7. Anyone and everyone is welcome to join. And for those who are not joining, I encourage you to join at least for some time. You don't need to join for a whole 2 hours. Even if you want to join for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever, 6 to 6:30, 6:30 to 7, whatever times. The call is on from 5 to 7. Whatever time fits in your schedule, feel free to join. Same link, same everything. And yeah, and then after that, 9:30, you'll have the wonderful class by Maharaj. Okay, we'll pause here. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Kalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.